Call to order the regular meeting on Monday, September 23rd at 2 p.m. of the Stokes County Board of Commissioners. At this time, will you please stand, and Commissioner Morris will give the invocation.
Let's pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the many blessings you've given us and the ability to live here in Stokes County. Please lead, guide, and direct us as we do the county business, and be with those around the world who are in turmoil in many locations. We thank you for your grace. In your most gracious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got to get a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Were you going to add that budget?
No, that comes under consent.
Consent, okay.
Yeah.
We should need to amend the agenda to add it,
Add it.
if you would.
Make a motion to approve the agenda with an amendment to consent, which will be stated at the consent, which is going to be a budget amendment 25.
I'll second.
All right, any further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, this time we will go to public comments, and there is nobody on the board or here to make public comments. So we'll go now to the comments for the managers and commissioners. Commissioner Morse, you want to start?
I'll do it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to welcome our 3 visitors that are in the room, along with anybody that might be online watching the meeting today. I would also like to welcome our new county manager, Jeff Sanborn, and make a few additional comments related to his hiring. Our board is very excited to have Jeff on board, and quite frankly, we didn't expect to find a candidate with anywhere near his caliber or with the level of qualifications and experience that he has. With that being said, our board members have received some questions about the level of compensation we approve for our new manager. We feel his salary is well within the competitive range for a manager with his qualifications and experience. This is after looking at the salaries of other county managers and factoring in the new salary plan we approved during our last budget for our other county employees. In determining his compensation level, our board looked at a number of qualifications and leadership experience that Jeff brings to the table. From an academic standpoint, he is a West Point graduate where he finished 3rd in his class of 896. He followed that by earning master's degrees in engineering and business administration from the University of Michigan. Jeff retired as a colonel from the Army, where he served as a battalion commander in the 82nd Airborne Division and later as a garrison commander of Fort Bragg. Following his military career, Jeff entered local government as the manager for the village of Pinehurst, where he served in that position for 9 years. He comes to us with a strong record of performance in both the Army and local government, with positive recommendations for those he has worked for in his previous position. Our board was unanimous in its decision to hire Jeff and compensate him at the level we feel fairly matches his qualifications and experience. We adjusted his salary up from our original offer to bring it in line with our new pay plan that was approved for the county employees. We will also be looking at other adjustments to the county's organizational structure in the front office to better manage the county's business. Some of these were discussed during our last budget cycle. Our goal is to gain efficiencies and cost savings while addressing important issues such as our economic development model for moving the county forward. So again, Jeff, welcome. We are absolutely pleased to have you.
Thank you.
Commissioner
That's all
Mendenhall?
I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, sir. Welcome, Jeff. Good to have you on board.
Thank you.
And I'm in my 8th year as I get ready to complete it. This is the fewest number of people we've had at a meeting that I've been in 8 years. 8 years is 3 people. I've never had 3 people at a meeting in 8 years. So I'm glad that we have at least 3 though. Don't know how many we have online, live stream.
2 of them have to be here.
However, I didn't want to say that because then it would make it look worse and we only had one.
We gotta work on our ratings.
As we go about our business today, seriously, anyone that's with us on YouTube, online, live streaming, we're glad to have you for our two of our workers back there, and a young man that I know well. It's good to have you. And we had a 1 o'clock celebration. We're getting ready to have an extensive expansion of our courthouse, which is going to be a very, very important project. It's going to help with the security of the judicial system as it moves forward, and the groups that we were able, that had the low bid. I happen to have worked with all of them many times. I think they will do a fantastic job. I thought Judge Puckett's comments were very apropos, and we're looking forward to getting this project underway and seeing the completion in the future. And Mr. Chairman, that's all the comments I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Cox?
Yep. I'd just like to thank everybody for being here, all three of y'all, and those watching online, and welcome our new county manager. Good to have him here. And like Commissioner Mendenhall said, we had a celebration of a groundbreaking ceremony at 1 o'clock today for the new courthouse, and that's exciting, and we're looking forward to that. I hope everyone got to take advantage of some of the things that were happening in our communities, in our county this weekend in Walnut Cove, and Oktoberfest in King, and the Farm Fest, and there'll be more things I think coming in October to get out and take advantage of. So that's all I've got.
Commissioner Wood?
Welcome, Jeff. We should have hired you a long time ago if our meetings are going to be this quiet. But I'd like to mention that our 60 plus was last Thursday. Me and my wife got to go, and they served 161 families and gave away 6,590 pounds of food and drink. It just keeps growing, and it's a great service, and it's every third Thursday at 11 at Sandy Ridge. So that, and I'm not even gonna, the activities in Stokes is unbelievable. I think somebody said, why ain't the commissioner somewhere? There is no way we can attend all these events on a weekend, but we're blessed to have those events, and that's all I got.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody, and just kind of hit off kind of what everyone has said here already. First of all, yes, there's a lot of great events this weekend. I spent my day at near the Old Francisco School with Farm Fest, and I know King had an Oktoberfest, and then Walnut Cove had a Fall Fest, and I know that a lot of people attended all the events and things that we had going on in the community. But it was really good. I know in the northwest part of the county, we encountered quite a few new people that were either looking to come into our community or just recently came into our community. So it's real, things are really looking up in Stokes County as a whole. And I appreciate all the volunteers and all the hard work to go in throughout the whole county to doing Oktoberfest and the fest in Walnut Cove, and of course in Francisco. The next thing I'd just like to just kind of touch on is, I guess, off what Commissioner Morse was saying about Jeff, our new county manager. And it's just not the individual stuff, but it's the thing that stood out to me with the process with him, which by the way was a national search, was that he's in professional development. Feels very strongly in putting the staff and what's the best interest of the organization first. And I'll just give you an example. I mean, since 2018, he's received a certificate of excellence in performance management. That's each year since 2018. And then the next thing is just recently, and this year, that Pinehurst received the highest honor in government budgeting. So there's nationally recognized guidelines for effective budget presentation, policy document, a finance plan, operating guide, and communications. Plus, they also received the Distinguished Budget Award, which gave special recognition for performance operating and then long-range operation of financial plans. And we all know here in Stokes County, we got a lot of great things going on, but at the same time, we've lacked the strategic planning that what we need to set the future, instead of always being behind the 8 ball. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't lose, Jeff. We've got to have somebody that has the experience, and the degrees and everything are really nice too, obviously. But to have somebody where you can just look right down the road and see what he's done, and putting and developing his staff. And then last thing, to top it off, I know that one of the top things being in government, at least for me when I was in government in Fayetteville, where you always got to bring in outside blood every once in a while to kind of top the next ceiling and improve the ceiling so you don't hit that bubble. But there's nothing better than when you leave a position is vacant, especially at a top level position like a city manager or village manager, is that's who got the Pinehurst manager job, was someone from Jeff's staff, correct? That, to me, there's no greater honor, at least it was for me when I left Fayetteville, of have someone fill my spot that came from my staff that was developed from the city of Fayetteville. So overwhelmingly, I can't wait for, I know Jeff has already gotten started, but I can't wait to work with Jeff. And the one thing that impressed me, and I'll be quiet about this, is he's not afraid to give an opinion. And I think that's one of the big things that you pay a county manager for, or city manager, is it's very easy to sit on the sideline and let us up here argue back and forth, but it takes somebody, again, with leadership and some confidence to give an opinion. And I think we've all kind of wanted that here, and so can't wait to get going. And with that, I'll be quiet, except one last thing, and I want to thank Amber, who has been our interim manager. I can't say enough about your effort that you gave, and you did a really, really good job of keeping us up here being able to function as best as we can, or I guess is what some people think we function. So thank you for that, sincerely, and I know that you had help from your staff, and I appreciate the teamwork. Amen to that. Amen, Amber.
She has no gray hair.
Amber.
Yeah. I'm gonna add, this is your outgoing thing, kind of, but I'm gonna, if you want to make a comment, you can, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Jeff if he wants to make any comments.
I want to say welcome to those that are here and watching online, and welcome, Jeff. I look forward to working with Jeff going forward, and I think we'll make a great team. And I appreciate the board entrusting me to serve as the interim for this long of a period. And I think we've done a lot of good things, and we're going to continue to make great strides. But I appreciate the opportunity to do that.
All right, you got the floor, Jeff.
Thank you. I want to thank you all, our board members, for the kind remarks that you've just made. And I want to say that I'm really excited to be here, finally. And I want to thank you all for your patience as I carried out my remaining responsibilities with the Village of Pinehurst, so that I could come here and join this team. I am really excited about where we're headed. There are a lot of exciting things happening in Stokes County right now and projected for the future. been spending, my initial time here and probably the next 2 or 3 weeks really learning the organization. Starting last week and then going through this week, I've been spending about an hour with each of our department heads, trying to gauge their perceptions of the organization. And then I'll be transitioning in the, probably about 2 weeks after that to operational inbriefs from each of our departments. I'm excited about the opportunity to help this organization with strategic planning. It's going to take some time. We're going to have to exercise some patience, but I think that we can make some headway this year. And so that will be one of my first priorities in trying to help this organization, is try to put some initial building blocks in place to help us along that way, so that you guys can make decisions that are well informed about where to apply resources in a not only in the coming year, but in the over a horizon of probably 5 years or so. We'll get there eventually. I am really excited about the opportunity to serve my community, to serve our residents and our businesses here in Stokes County, and serve our Board of Commissioners, and serve all the great employees that work here for the County of Stokes. So, lots to be done. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. At this time, I'm going to read conflict of interest. Before moving further, does any board member have a conflict with any of the items on the agenda for today, or one that could be perceived as a conflict of interest? No. Okay. All right. At this time, we'll go into our discussion agenda, and first up is the tax office addenda, and Richard Brim. How you doing, Richard?
Good afternoon. Good to see you again, Jeff. Good to have you on board. Just want to say that I got an email from Jeff on Wednesday when he first got here. Well-written email. He referenced teammates and team. So I like that approach, and I look forward to working with you. First item, like always, is our monthly collection status report. We've collected 53.3% of our amount budgeted for the year, so we're off to a good start. Then we have the 4 categories of releases and refunds. The first category is releases less than 100. We have 18 accounts that total $497.51. We have 3 accounts of refunds less than $100 that total $108.78. We have releases more than 100, 3 accounts that total $1,400.27. In the last category, we have refunds over 100. That's 15 accounts that total $37.89.21. We have 11 late applications for elderly tax relief. We have 2 late applications for disabled veterans exclusion. And then we have 14 accounts for our inmate EMS billing for the jail write-off for inmates that were in the Stokes County Jail. 14 accounts that total $81.36.55. And then I have some information about the 2% discount. This year, Stokes County is one of 37 counties in North Carolina that offers a discount for early payment. And this year, that amount was $452.79.52 for total for all discounts for all tax districts. And then the last category is our public utilities. Public utilities value went up from $895.4 million last year to $906.2 this year. That's about $10.8 million increase. And just want to let the board know that Duke Energy, as always, leads that category at $836.6 million. Duke Energy represents about 92.3% of our public utility tax base. So that's all I have. I would request that the refunds and releases more than 100 and the late applications and the EMS jail bill and inmate write-off be moved to the October 14th consent agenda. That's all I have.
Any questions, comments?
I'm good.
I got one. The 2% discount.
Yes, sir.
How did it stack up this year over last year? You know that
Yeah,
offhand?
I do right here. Last year it was $403,639. This year it's $452,799. And but now the percent that was paid was roughly the same. Last year we collected about 53.7%. This year's 53.3%. So that with the tax rate increasing, that's the reason we have a little additional
Right.
2% discount.
The same people are taking it every year.
Yep.
And most of those are escrows, and they have to pay early. It's mandated they do that.
I think our elderly also, population in this county, when they feel like they are saving money, which they see they get a discount of that amount. What if you, I'm sure if you got the demographic population divided, that the elderly probably had quite a few elderly people that took advantage also.
Yes, sir. And that's why we have 11 late applications, because a lot of them, when they do come into our office, we talk to them real careful about asking someone's age, so we kind of tiptoe around that. But once we find out they're eligible, then we talk about their income, and if their income meets the criteria, there's provision in the law that allows the board to accept a late application within the calendar year, and the board's always gracious to do that.
Anything else? No questions. Good job, as usual.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I've been reminded I skipped over the consent agenda. So let's, before we get to our next thing.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you.
So to kick me. So can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent with budget amendment
25.
25.
Get a second?
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. At this time now, we will go back to the discussion agenda, and Glenda Pruitt will be up here to update us on something.
You never know what I'm bringing. But today, I'm bringing a tax foreclosed piece of property that we had did a consensus on to accept a bid of $375. We posted the bid and run it in the newspaper on August the 29th, and it closed on September 9th. And we had no other bids. I didn't even have any other calls in regards to it, which we kind of expected that because of what it was. So I am requesting that the board accept the offer of Mr. Fox to deed this little piece of property over to him. It adjoins his.
You want it on?
If
let's
you can
move
move it to action today, that'd be great, and then I'll get the paperwork to
Yeah,
Ty
sounds
for the
good.
deed work. But it's just up to you all.
We got a consensus?
We got time.
You're gonna jinx us now, Keith. You're gonna
Thank you.
jinx us.
Thank you.
Next up is reorganization of direct reports to the Board of Commissioners. And in this situation, want to discuss the moving the position of Finance Director, which is currently under the Board of Commissioners, and moving it to under the direct control of the county manager. And with, at least in my opinion, the ability to limit the direct control of the Board of Commissioners, I think, is better in terms of it to me, it relieves some of the political stuff that ramifications or implications that can go with the position. And I just think that the fewer people that report directly to the Board of Commissioners, I think is better. The more people that report to the county manager and that's who, of course, we take responsibility for in a direct way with the hiring and firing and the performance would be more desirable. If anyone makes comments on that, then I'm going to go to the second part of of what we're going to talk about regarding finance.
So are we dealing just with finance right now? Or
Well, no,
are we
it's
dealing
still-
with anything in general on reorganization?
It's within that. It was in that. It falls within that reorganization.
Has it ever been the way we're going? You recommended
Yes. I
in
mean,
previous years? Does anybody recall? Why is it the way it is? Has it always been that way?
I got on in 2016, it was that way.
That's just a curiosity question.
What was that way? You're talking about the finance report?
Right, the finance report and always to the commissioners.
It was.
And I have no problem with it being switched.
I had no problem with it being switched.
I agree. I like the idea of Jeff reporting directly to us. He's our at-will employee, and then him being empowered to supervise everybody else.
I agree.
The second part of the organization that kind of falls in line is that the our current finance director, Lisa, she had come to the board and asked for a reassignment. So I'm asking, and of course she's offered to stay until we find a new finance director, and which we appreciate very much. And then along the same lines is that we want to give permission to the county manager to post for a finance director, because obviously it's a very important position, and as we move forward, we want to make sure that we have the ability to hire the best candidate that we can. And I guess let me say this too, that this in itself is nothing to do with Lisa's performance. Lisa's performance is top notch. I still would have recommended that the report go back to the county manager, the position itself, because that's what that's about. But with Lisa, she's still going to stay with Stokes County, so don't freak out and think we're going to lose a valuable employee, because we're not. But we just want to make sure that it's a smooth transition. And I know personally, I appreciate Lisa of being very, very direct and honest about it's just best for her family to ask for a reassignment. And I know it took a lot of prayer, and it was hard. And we don't want to make it any harder on you than what it is. Already is that you've put on with your own goals. But we don't want to lose you as a county employee, and so thank you for staying on. And also double thank you to staying on as the finance director until we can find somebody. And I'll open the floor to discussion.
I think that's a wise idea to go ahead and post for it as soon as possible. I think we talked about tweaking the requirements and qualifications for that job a little bit before it's posted. I don't know if we have to take any type of action on that, or we can just, let Jeff know what we talked about.
I think if we just
Additional
open it up, they
requirements.
get his recommendation too.
Right.
We can kind of tell him offline what we're looking at. The main thing is, throw it in his, to allow him to start doing what needs to be done.
He may have additional ideas of the qualifications he would like to see as well. But again, thank you, Lisa, for all your hard work and time and everything you've put into this job, and definitely appreciate you committing to helping us out till we get a new director. So,
I agree, and I think certainly the finance director reporting to Jeff is a very positive thing. And I think the posting of the position needs to be as expedient as possible. We need to move on that quickly. It's a very, I'm sure Jeff understands, finance director is one of the most important. It's not, all the director positions are important, but finance, finance, that's a very important position. So I think we need to get that posted as soon as possible.
Any comment?
I'm on board. I just appreciate Lisa, what she has done and what she's going to do. How's your health now? Good?
It's pretty good.
Blood pressure went down 25 points.
Probably a lot better here in about 5 minutes.
Thank you, Lisa, for all you've done. I've been working with Lisa since 2004, so I know her really well, and I am very pleased that she's going to stay with the county as well. And on the new position, I mentioned to Jeff, I think already, or maybe you guys too, about looking at a CPA for a finance officer, and probably not making it a requirement, but at least mention it somewhere in the job description if we tweak it a little bit. That's not the answer to all your problems, but CPAs are pretty smart, so or they never would get through that test. So so I'd like to at least think about that and make sure we got the right job description out there.
So I guess in the terms of the job posting, would it you want after Jeff has an idea of kind of what he's looking for and requirements, or what maybe he preferred, or him just to share the job description before it goes out, or?
Yes, just to share it, because Rick says CPA is probably, certainly, a position that is favorable to having a CPA.
Right.
However, I don't think it needs to be the final end-all to everything.
A minimum requirement.
Yes.
Yeah.
In other words, we can hire someone without being a CPA.
Right.
That's just
Yeah, they're hard to find for one
Well,
thing.
I was getting ready to mention that.
I guess we have to approve the job description if it's changed.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Once he tweaks it, and you need to approve whatever the final product is that's sent out.
All right, if there's not any further comment, but I would ask if we could get a vote to shoot the reorganization of the direct report of the finance director position to the county manager, or do you want to wait?
I think we go ahead and move it to action today. I think we know what we want.
I agree.
All right.
That'll also be in the job description, right?
Yeah.
Part of the new job description, updated job description.
So I'll entertain a motion to
I'll make a motion that we move it to action today.
Okay, all right.
Second.
You got that down, Amber? Be on action. All right, thank
We
you.
need to take a vote on that. Because we
All
got
in
a first
favor?
and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, now we go to the action agenda. And we have a proclamation recognizing Kinship Care Month. Whereas the youth of Stokes County and North Carolina are our most precious resource and hope for the future, and all children deserve a safe, loving, and nurturing place to call home. And whereas there are 117 children in the foster care system in Stokes County, with 34 placed in kinship care, and whereas kinship care is one of the most vital structures providing North Carolina's children with love, dignity, and belonging, and to ensure a sense of physical and emotional safety. And whereas kinship families open their homes and hearts to children whose families are in crisis and play a vital role helping children and families heal and unify while launching children into successful adulthood. And whereas North Carolina encourages the preservation of kinship care connections while honoring kinship caregivers and their crucial role in serving young people. And whereas there are numerous individuals, communities, and public and private organizations working to increase public awareness of the unique needs of children in foster care placed with kinship care provider, and of the enduring and valuable contributions made by kinship families. And whereas Kinship Care Month is an opportunity to recognize the kinship care providers who open their hearts to provide children with a sense of connection, security, and ties to their culture, family, and community, as well as child welfare professionals and advocates working to ensure children's safety, performance, and well-being, and to spread awareness on behalf of the children in kinship care. Therefore, we, the Stokes County Board of Commissioners, proclaim September is Kinship Care Month and encourage all citizens to volunteer their time, energy, and talents on behalf of children in foster care and their biological families, kinship caregivers, and foster parents during this month and throughout the year, dated this 23rd day of September 2024.
Motion to approve it as kinship care month.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Then the next item is the offer for surplus tax foreclosed property. Back to present.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
And then the reorganization of the finance director position.
Motion to approve the reorganization.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Do we have anything for closed session?
Yes. Gonna read the rationale at this time. To consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A3, and to discuss matters relating to the location or expansion of industries or other businesses in the area served by the public body, including agreement on a tentative list of economic development incentives that may be offered by the public body in negotiations, which privilege is hereby acknowledged pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A4.
Motion that we enter closed session.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're now in closed session. entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion we adjourn.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now officially adjourned.